I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed.
Doesn't exist, not a real verse in the Bible. Now what he's referencing is Genesis chapter 12, where God is addressing Abraham, not Israel, and telling him that those who bless him will be blessed, those who curse him will be cursed, and in these shall all families of the earth be blessed. Of course, referring to the fact that Jesus Christ would come from Abraham, Jesus Christ being the person in whom all families of the earth have been blessed. No mention of Israel whatsoever. And in fact, Israel didn't even exist until long after Abraham bore Isaac, Isaac bore Jacob, Jacob became Israel. Israel had 12 sons. Those 12 sons became 12 tribes. Those 12 tribes became known as the nation of Israel, not the modern state of Israel that was created in 1948.
Tonight, a look at the damage to Gaza's only Catholic church after it was struck by Israeli artillery. The building's still standing, but church officials say 3 people were killed. 2 of them buried today, their funerals at the neighboring Greek Orthodox church. As they were leaving after finishing their prayer, they were targeted, said this man who was sheltering in the church. Among the lately injured was the parish priest, Father Gabriele Romanelli. It was Father Romanelli who the late Pope Francis called every day in the months before he died to check up on the church and the tiny Catholic community here as it kept its faith under fire.
But what I don't respect, what I'm horrified by, is Christian ministers making excuses for the murder of Christians, or anyone else, actually, for that matter. Right. And they should know better. It is heresy. It's misleading. A lot of the best people in the country, a lot of the Christian Zionists, evangelicals, are like wonderful people, like my favorite people, actually. And they've been completely brainwashed by this deception because their leaders are themselves brainwashed or paid, or who knows what their motive is, but they're telling lies. And I really feel like they need to be called out above all else.
While Israel continues to target and bomb churches sheltering displaced civilians in the Gaza Strip, it's also attacking churches here. By imposing taxes, building illegal settlements, and denying Palestinian Christians access to occupied East Jerusalem for important religious holidays, which are all flagrant violations of that historic agreement. The assaults by Israeli settlers and the right-wing government on Palestinian Christians, who stand as part and parcel of the identity and history of Palestine, show Christians here, like other Palestinians, are also struggling with Israel's occupation and forcible transfer. They also warn that the threats to their existence not only goes against historic and religious facts, but also against already existing legal documents that precede the creation of Israel.
I've heard from so many Christians in the West Bank about how they are attacked constantly by settlers. I've heard stories about how their Christian churches are attacked. I've heard stories about how Christians there have been murdered. I had a call last night and there was many Christians that are from the West Bank and from Gaza on the call, and they were being very honest about all the horrible things that they have been through themselves and people they know have been through, and the abuse that they take from the IDF and the abuse that they constantly take. And these are the atrocities that Americans, especially American Christians, need to understand. It's not war propaganda, and it is very, very real, and it's some of the worst things happening in our lifetime. It's just like what's happening to Christians in Nigeria. Yeah. There's real Christian persecution, and it's happening in Gaza, and it's happening in the West Bank, and it cannot be ignored. And Christian pastors, most of all, should be the ones talking about it, not making excuses for Israel and demanding that the people in their pews donate their money and give their loyalty and give their obedience to the country that is inflicting these horrors on Christians. These Christian pastors should be the ones calling it out. But the whole propaganda machine that has been spoon-fed to Christians, whether it's in the pews at church or Bible study, or coming through the television or through their politicians' mouths, that we have to do everything for Israel. That's the only way we're going to go to heaven. America will be cursed if we don't. That whole lie is breaking apart.
There's also trash across the floor. There's toilet paper, water bottles, condiments, whatever you'd like. But I think one of the most offensive things that we have found in this church is the desecration of religious figurines. So this would have been Jesus. His head is cut off there. Residents tell me that that looks intentional, not part of an explosion or any fighting that may have taken place in this village.
I want to be clear that the people I'm most upset with are not Israelis or Jews. They're Christian ministers, self-described Christian ministers who are preaching heresy.